On February 8th, NEMA announced that effective 1st April, it would commence an administrative penalty scheme for breaches in line with Section 174 of the National Environment Act No. 5 of 2019. This in addition to existing criminal prosecution measures to deter non-compliance and prevent degradation. This scheme will require, among other things, private and public cars to have a dustbin to avoid littering. On Friday, NEMA and KCCA invited other stakeholders like bar owners, boda and taxi sector leaders, as well as religious leaders to discuss implementation.
Music is measured in decibels. We don't have a machine which is calibrated to measure music. So how are you going to take me to court and charge me? You must have science. Music is science. You don't just guess. Noise meter they are using is not calibrated because it's not ENBS, which is supposed to do what? To measure them. So they are not calibrated. Even themselves, what they are doing is illegal.
You also put your, what you are supposed to put right. Let the dustbins be there and let them be many. Such that as I walk a short distance, I know from here next step I'll be able to throw.
Although NEMA said the amendment in the NEMA Act of 2019 was done after public consultation, the body was accused of spearheading a boardroom law that targets citizens and ignores critical issues in environment management.
People are not aware. We need to show them, to teach them, to sensitize them, to inform them, give them information that what you are doing according to the law right now is wrong and you're a criminal if you do A, B, C, D. We have suggested that NEMA holds the implementation of this law that was passed in 2019 so that sensitization is done.
KCCA Deputy ED David Luyimbazi acknowledged that there might be resistance in implementing this scheme and proposed defecting it in parts as more sensitization is carried out.
Degradation of wetlands, we don't have to wait. Building developments, we can start almost immediately, okay? But some areas that need time to comply, maybe we give them some windows.
Luyimbazi warned enforcement officers against taking advantage of the law to defraud the public.
Currently, Kampala generates about 2,500 tons of waste every day. The process of correcting the mistakes of the past is going to be long, protracted, costly, but we are equal to the task, these things. And I'm sure this express penalty scheme will help us a great deal by applying punitive penalties to those who offend the laws.
The scheme proposes up to 6 million shillings as a penalty for littering and leaving rubbish outside one's residence, for example, 10 million for noise pollution, 100 million shillings for importing, exporting and manufacturing polythene bags below 30 microns, and 6 billion shillings for corporate bodies that fail to display certificate of approval of environment and social impact assessment, among others. Asked if the scheme will still be rolled out amid possible resistance, NEMA said,
"We plan the operation, okay, to see how best, okay, it can be implemented, taking into account the issues you have raised."
The Minister of Environment will have to draft guidelines specifying the breaches and publish them in the National Gazette for the penalties to work. Edward Muhumuza, NTV.